Hello everybody and welcome back for some VR news, where I recap everything going on in the VR industry, prepare you for this week's new game releases, and then focus in on some major stories. As always, I am Mateo311, and today's video is absolutely packed. We have some huge new games dropping, plenty of updates to some of the biggest titles out there, brand new AR hardware from Qualcomm, and an absolutely massive sale on VR games and hardware. Now there are of course links and timestamps to all of today's topics if you want to skip ahead, but let's start things off with those new releases. First up is the 5v5 tactical shooter Breachers. This is from the same studio that brought us the absolutely amazing competitive shooter Hyperdash, and it looks like VR is finally getting some Rainbow Six style combat. Breachers is currently available right now in a free open alpha for the Quest 2. You'll need to join their Discord server to get access, so I'll include a link down below. This is also the perfect time to mention that Hyperdash is going free to play next month, so if you've never experienced the game, I highly recommend that you jump in and check it out. Now moving into upcoming new releases, we still have one more absolutely huge game releasing for VR in 2022, and that's The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. If you're at all curious about this game, I highly recommend you check out my lengthy first impressions video that just recently went up. The Quest 2 version is releasing next week on December 1st, but the PCVR and PlayStation VR 2 versions won't be available until February and March of next year. If you're unfamiliar with the title, it's a single-player, story-driven campaign set in the Walking Dead universe and featuring plenty of excellent mechanics such as scavenging, weapon crafting, brutal combat, and active dialogue decisions. One of the main questions I've been receiving is, does this feel like an actual sequel or just more of extended DLC? And honestly, I will say it's a bit borderline there. A lot of the original game's locations and enemies have been reused, but there's also a new 15 to 20 hour campaign, plenty of additional weapons, the crafting system has been expanded, and the production value does seem a lot higher. Regardless about how you feel there, the game still feels great, and I'm extremely happy to jump back in, but I'm just hoping to see this title get a little bit more polish, because I did run into a bunch of immersion breaking bugs in my 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. Now our next title is the over-the-top 4-person co-op shooter Gambit, which feels like a mix between Left 4 Dead and Borderlands. This title has had their release date jumping around a bit, and it was originally planned to release last week, but there were so many other titles releasing. Then it was updated till December 1st, and I think they'd prefer not to go against Saints and Sinners, so now the date is currently December 8th. The developers themselves have confirmed this date for me, so I doubt we'll see any more changes. I already have a bit of coverage up on Gambit, and the title is pure mayhem and a lot of fun to play with your friends. It's more than just mindless shooting, as there's plenty of unlockable weapons and skins, whole parkour sections, and hidden areas on every single map. So if you're looking for a new co-op VR title, put this game on the top of your list. Now if you're not looking to purchase a brand new game, some existing titles just recently received some major updates. First up is the fitness title Supernatural, which not only recently introduced knee strikes, but also now has new routines and music by Coldplay. Now, if you're not familiar with my content, I actually lost 20 pounds over the course of 3 months by playing Supernatural on a daily basis. The workouts are extremely fun and just simple to stick to. My only complaint is this is a subscription service that's definitely a bit more expensive than the average user is willing to pay. There is a free trial though, and they're currently giving away a VR floor mat if you sign up for an annual subscription. Now, if you've been looking for a reason to jump back into the VR MMO Zenith, patch 1.2 has just dropped, and with it, they've introduced hours of new early game content, revamped the tutorial and intro storyline, added a creature capturing system that allows you to have in-game pets, plus there's plenty of new bug fixes and quality of life improvements. Now, I personally found Zenith way too grindy, and ultimately the combat mechanics just were not satisfying. Now, you might be expecting the studio to focus more on endgame content, but with their player base significantly dropping, and their release coming to the PlayStation VR 2, they're aiming to give a much better first impression to help keep people locked into this title. Back during the first month of this game's release, the average gamer gave up on this title and moved on after less than 6 hours. So hopefully these new additions help with the game's overall stickiness. Now, a title that needs absolutely no help to get its users to keep playing it is Walkabout Mini Golf, but that hasn't stopped them from releasing 36 new holes. These are all based on the classic 1990s puzzle title Myst. That iconic title featured stunning visuals and brain-teasing puzzles, which are 2 items that I hope they truly captured. I'm curious how many of my viewers play Walkabout Mini Golf, and if they're looking forward to trying this new DLC, so let me know down in the comments. Okay, so before we get into those huge holiday sales, we just have some exciting new hardware to go over. Qualcomm has just introduced their new AR2 processor, designed specifically for glasses-sized AR devices. The extremely small form factor of glasses has been an ongoing extreme challenge for AR devices. The AR2 finally plans to tackle this. It has 50% less power consumption than their XR2 processor, It's much more compact, and it's being combined with a coprocessor and Wi-Fi 7. So you'll have ultra-low latency wireless transmission, a coprocessor helping to share the workload with your external device, and finally the main processor handling the sensor perception and video output. I feel like this right here is the leap we've needed to finally make AR possible. I'm currently experimenting with the Nreal Air, and I'm both excited and a bit disappointed at the same time, but I'll have more information on that in the near future. But let's move on to the first officially announced AR2 headset. The developers of Pokemon Go are releasing a pair of AR glasses designed for outdoor use. There's minimal information on the specs at the moment, and their video actually shows off two separate headsets, both of which look extremely sleek, and there's also an array of applications being used outdoors. This right here is some of the most encouraging AR news I've heard in quite some time. Being able to play something like Pokemon Go with a sleek pair of sunglasses could absolutely sell a product like this. So let's hope we see these bad boys out in the wild in the near future. Okay, it's finally time to jump into those massive holiday sales, but first we have an absolutely amazing free game. On November 24th, you can go onto the Epic Store and get the PC version of Star Wars Squadrons absolutely free. This title is extremely intense and visually stunning. There's a 12-hour campaign, full HOTAS support, online multiplayer, and it's just the perfect VR experience for any Star Wars fan. The combat is fast-paced and highly strategic, and you feel like you're truly piloting one of these iconic spaceships. So set a reminder right now, and on the 24th, go pick up this game for free. Now, if you're looking for new VR accessories, everything from my channel sponsor Kiwi Design is 10 to 30% off right now. I highly recommend their Elite Strap with battery pack, as it's not only more durable and comfortable than what Meta has to offer, it's also cheaper even when it's not on sale. Their Valve Index style Quest 2 hand straps are also another popular item that come in a large variety of different colors, and they have everything else you might need from link cables to full cable management systems. There's a link down in the description that will help support this channel, and when their sale eventually ends, you can always use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off. Now, a lot of you guys already have the accessories you need, and you're just interested in discounted games. Well, you're in luck there because almost everything is discounted on the Meta store. Honestly, if there's any game you've been waiting to pick up, now is the time to do it. Some of these discounts go as steep as 50% off, and you can get amazing titles like Resident Evil 4, Population 1, Green Hell, I Expect You to Die, Moss, and After the Fall, all for $25 or less. I'd love to hear what you guys are planning to pick up down in the comments. Now, if you're yet to pull the trigger on a VR headset, now is the perfect time for that too. The 128GB model of the Quest 2 is currently discounted to $350. And the 256GB model is $430. Making this deal even better, it now includes both Beat Saber and Resident Evil 4. These are two of Meta's biggest games, so if you've been thinking about getting a Quest 2, now is the absolute perfect time. Now, if you're not interested in Meta's headset, the HP Reverb G2 is currently $300, and it features one of the highest resolution displays on a consumer headset. While it definitely has some flaws, it's a great option for someone interested in flight simulators and racing titles. And if for some reason you're looking for hardware from HTC, both their media consumption headset, the Vive Flow, and their high-end prosumer VR headset, the Vive Pro 2, are both on sale. Now, this is currently limited to European customers, but the Vive Flow has been reduced to €120, and the full Vive Pro 2 kit has been reduced by €100, placing it at $1199, or in other words, still way too expensive. Okay, everybody, that was today's new VR news. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate if you left this video a thumbs up, maybe some comments, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. As always, I'll see you guys on next time.